So today we are going inside the Sallie House to investigate the paranormal claims made famous by the Sightings TV show. I'm traveling to Atchison, Kansas to set up these claims and then see if we can recreate them just as they happened when the original haunting took place. So without further ado, let's check out the Sallie House and see what it's like. So when you first walk in, you get a nice little stroller right here with a baby in it, and then you come into the living room, which is straight out of the 90s. It's kind of the last time I think somebody really lived here, so they haven't done much renovating since then. Here, nice shelf, a lot of little knickknacks on it. This is where we set up camp, but this is the dining room area. You can see they've got some old chairs and a really nice little set here with the Bible and some other fun stuff. Cool. So that's the dining room. We can come in here to the kitchen. In here, pretty standard kitchen layout, but they've got a nice little spot, little shrine here for Sallie. They've got I think this is an artist rendition. I don't know if that's the photo that Tony originally painted or not. I don't think it is, but it could be. Then you got some rubbing alcohol, some little cold capsules, all that fun stuff. And then you've got the bathroom right here, which show you. Just a little bathroom with some cabinets in the back. If you open those, there isn't too much in them. Just stops right there. Then this is the basement, and unfortunately it's closed right now. It's been closed for a while. I do see other YouTubers going in here, and actually somebody ripped off the lock. There used to be a lock right here, and it's gone. You can see where they've actually taken it off. I don't know if that was done by the owners or what, but they still don't want you to go in there, so we're not gonna go. But this is how you would get into the basement. The backyard, it's unlocked. Then you've got backyard out here. There are a lot of squirrels, I'm noticing. Look over here. See how many there are? And that's a problem, because if we're hearing stuff upstairs, then it could totally be from squirrels running on the roof. And it's just out of view, but right past this tree line here is a giant river. I don't remember which one it is off the top of my head, but I'll be sure to put it in here when I go back and figure it out. And it just goes straight down towards the river. And I think that's about it for the backyard. All right, now it's time to go upstairs. I will say the upstairs has a very different vibe. The downstairs, you know, feels nice and comforting mostly, but it does have a little bit of a darker vibe when you go upstairs. Stairs are really steep as well, and I think somebody actually died by falling down them, which, based on this, isn't all that surprising. Then we've got the nursery, which is supposedly the room with the most activity in it. You can see just how many toys are in here. They are everywhere. This is where we put our recorder for the night. We did leave our recorder running in here all night. Hopefully we got something, but we'll find out here in a little bit. Left some crayons out for Sallie to draw. Got some batteries for our battery test and a rose. All right, let's move on to the next room. Then we got the master bedroom. There's not too much in this room, but they've got the music box in here, which I always think this is kind of interesting. That somebody actually ripped the head off of the music box doll, which is kind of sad. You know, people need to take better responsibility when they investigate these places and not break stuff. But then you've got the master closet in here. And the master closet is just kind of a little, you know, they put some extra dolls and stuff in here. And yeah, not much to it. They've got the Annabelle dolls, of course, because it's a haunted place. You gotta have the little Raggedy Ann dolls. Bathroom, the upstairs bathroom with a shower. We did not shower. I don't know if it works. I wouldn't personally do it, but you do you. And then we've got the spare bedroom. The spare bedroom's pretty bare too. It's a rocking chair, but the glue's drying, so we're not supposed to touch it. And then
We've got this, yeah, spare bedroom. This is a little weird under here, but it's just a little crawl space for some reason. And cabinets, got a vacuum and other little stuff. Yeah, I think that's about it for the tour. We'll go in a minute and we'll check all of our claims that we left out for the night. Hopefully we get something interesting, and if we don't, well, then we didn't get anything, but that's the way it goes. All right, so one other thing we're gonna test out is we're gonna use the spirit leveler to measure the floor. As soon as you walk in and you get to the dining room, I know we've got some stuff all over it, but there is a clear slope, even without using this, from left to right, going down this, there's actually a hill, and it goes down to a river. So the minute you walk in, it actually can make you dizzy. That's when we walked in, it kind of threw me off immediately. We'll put the level down here and see, you know, what it looks like. And yeah, you can see how far, yeah. See how far off this bubble is right here? This is telling us that it is sloping from left to right pretty bad. So that is that. We're also gonna test it out at the top of the stairs as well as in the nursery. And we might even take a look at some of the doors and make sure those look okay, so. All right, now we're upstairs, top of the stairs. Let's check and make sure it's level. Okay, so it looks like we have a slight slope this way from towards the, here, we'll put it right at the edge. That actually looks pretty level, huh? Yeah, it's pretty close. That's not too bad. Yeah, honestly, I'd say that's pretty close to level. Now, the stairs themselves are all over the place and are definitely not level. But as far as the top goes, I think it's not too bad. The key is just, you can't put a ball close to the edge of the stairs like this. You need to make sure that the ball is far enough back to where small vibrations from outside, especially in a place like this where you can hear the cars passing by or right off the street, you have to make sure that this is going to, this is not going to roll off that easily. Here's one other thing we noticed. So the vents, this vent in the bathroom here makes a little rattling sound, which is pretty unnerving when you don't know where it's coming from. Hopefully you can hear that on camera. But yeah, just something to note for the next people who come by. Now we're gonna take the level and do the nursery, because I've seen people say that the ball actually rolled this way and off, and I can already feel there's a giant lip right here. You can almost see it. Let's put the level down. So I would expect there to be a problem from right to left, so the bubble should go to the right. Oh yeah, look at that. You see this right here? Look how far right that is. You can feel the slope here. So putting a ball on at this point, there would be a pretty high likelihood it would move eventually. More in the center, like where this ball is right here, it actually is pretty level. So as long as it's to the right side of this slope, it's probably fine. But I've seen some videos of people in here kind of seeing the balls roll. There's a video where a football kind of moves on its own from right to left over here, and it makes me kind of suspicious that the floor isn't level, or that it was right here. But I kind of remember it being a little more central, so I'm not sure it explains it, but definitely could be. So, all right, one of the easiest testable claims is to put a rose out and see if it'll burn like it did on the sightings episode. So I thought we would take a few roses, put them around the house, give us as many opportunities as we can to see it burn. All right, this is where they put the original one, and I know it's a bit off camera, but I will put a lot more of them on camera. But since this is where they said it happened, I'm gonna put one up there. And you can see, let's zoom in on that it does not have any burn marks or anything. It's a normal looking rose, nothing special. All right, put it right up there. Let's get rid of this fly swatter. There we go, sweet. All right, I thought we could put another one in the nursery. Let's find a good spot for it here. You know, there's not a lot of room in here. I'll set it up here on the bed for now, I guess. Right there. All right. Yeah, you can zoom in a little on that, make sure there's no kind of markings on it or anything. Normal rows. All right, let's go to the next. Last one, I think, I don't have any cameras in here, so I don't want to put, this is the one dead spot in the whole house. I only have 8 cameras, so I just didn't put one in here. We'll put the other ones in the master bedroom here. Let's see. I think it makes sense to put one right there. That looks nice. And then put the other one right up here, kind of against the window. I want to see maybe if the light will shine through and actually hit this rose. So, all right, we're gonna move on to the next paranormal claim. Okay, so I just walked right through this hallway right here. And as I came right here, I heard what clearly sounded like, it was just like a quick, it was like, huh. Like that's the way I would describe the sound I heard. It sounded like it could have been a voice, but I don't, you know, I'm instantly thinking it's when I walked on the floors right here or something that it started squeaking. But I'm jumping around on it and I just don't hear it. But it was loud. It was loud enough for me to pretty much instantly turn around, and it sounded like it was right here. I'm hoping maybe one of the cameras caught it, but it was quiet enough for somebody sitting only maybe 10 feet away to have not heard it. So it's gonna be hard to figure out exactly what's going on here. Hopefully, maybe the kitchen camera caught it, so we'll see. Okay, so the next claim we're gonna look at is we've got the crayons right here. And there's a photo from the original sightings episode where this crown looks something like that. So we're gonna try to recreate that. All right, let's make sure that's not gonna move on its own or anything. Okay, awesome. So if it moves, claim proved. If not, I don't know, guess we didn't get it. All right, so the next thing we did is we took some string and we just put it right along here along the vent. That way, when the heat kicks on, it'll blow, but we'll see it pretty clearly and we can rule that out as a suspect if anything does happen. So it is freezing in Kansas right now. It's about, 15, 20 degrees. So it's important we have heat, but I also want to make sure that we don't accidentally, rule out evidence or rule in evidence when it's really just the heater. So, okay, so for our next test, we have an experiment. This was brought up to me by Kenny Biddle. I heard him talk about this, and I thought it was a great idea. So what I've done is I've taken 2 bags of AA batteries. I just put them out of the box. So half of the box stayed in the car, and the other half are in these bags. I just tested each one to make sure that they were 1.65 volts. They are. That's what you expect for these AA batteries, but I'm going to show this one on camera real fast. If you can bring that camera over here. And you can see it's 0, positive to positive, negative to negative. And you can see that start to rise. Gets about 1.656. Awesome. So that's a good battery. Just tested them all, and we are going to leave them upstairs in the nursery because that's where most of the activity seems to come from. And I'm hoping that what we'll see is when we come back that these batteries have actually been drained, since that's one of the big paranormal claims is that the batteries just suddenly die in your camera or whatever else you bring on your investigations. So I thought we'd test it out. All right, so this is our home base setup here. You can see we have 8 cameras that are filming everything in the house with the exception of the spare bedroom. That's the only spot we don't have accounted for. And the last one we did, I didn't feel like there was much activity there. So we used the other camera to have a double camera in the nursery, which is the activity hotspot. So hopefully we catch something. At the very least, we can debunk our own mistakes if, I listen to an audio recording of something and then I'm downstairs yelling. At least I'll be able to connect the dots there and figure out that, I was the cause. So this just keeps us honest and make sure that we've got almost everything covered. So another claim we saw in the sightings episodes was photos taken on a 90s camera. I don't think it was a Polaroid, but I went ahead and got a Polaroid, and I figured, why not take a few pictures and see if we can capture something similar to what the Pickmans captured all those years ago. So we're gonna go room by room, take some photos. I got the wrong film for some of them, so some of them will be black and white, some of them will be color, and hopefully we get something interesting. If we do, I'll let you know. If not, at least we have some cool photos from the trip, so why not?
Okay.
All right, let's see if I can figure out how to do this. All right, Sally, if you're in the kitchen, come down here. Which button do I hit? Oh, I just turned it off, didn't I?
Yeah, it's the one.
Yeah, I
in
don't
the
know what I'm
front.
doing.
That red button.
Yeah, but I think I turned it off, so I gotta turn it back on. Do I have to hold it down?
No, you should just.
No, there it goes. There it goes. Yeah, it says I got 7 left. Which button is it?
The one on the front, the red button.
Oh, I see it. Okay. Okay. All right, Sally. All right. We gotta take this whole thing out. Oh, I didn't like that at all. Snapped it out of my hands. Picture taking, coming to the nursery. Okay. Say cheese. All right. Nice photo.
So unfortunately, I had to leave pretty early the following day after spending the night in the Sallie house, and I wasn't able to film showing a lot of the results for the claims we set up. But I do want to go ahead and say that all of the claims we set up, I could not recreate what was on the Sallie House sightings episodes. The roses didn't burn, the crown was in the same spot it originally started, and none of the photos really showed anything too exciting. And the battery test showed the batteries had the exact same amount of charge as when we originally set them up. And unfortunately, the noise I thought I heard, I was unable to capture on my cameras that I had set up throughout the house. Unfortunately, the microphones are just very bad quality and it just didn't come out very well. Even though we didn't capture any evidence of paranormal activity, it was still a super fun experience getting to go and really evaluate some of these claims. And I hope y'all thought it was fun and entertaining, and if it's something y'all would like to see me do again, just let me know in the comments and be sure to like and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.